Welcome everyone to your hip and shoulders class. I'd like to thank you all for taking some time out of your day, out of your weekend, to commit to yourself and our community in this practice together, sharing in this space and this time to help restore our bodies and our minds to a little bit more balance. I'd like to offer beginning our practice this morning in child's pose, balasana. If there's another form or posture that you feel more comfortable in, please go ahead and make your way there now. Knowing that this practice is yours and you are your own best teacher. So if I cue something that doesn't feel right in your body in this moment or the next, then you're always free to try a different variation. Taking a few moments to simply arrive, to meet yourself on the mat. Seeing if you can allow the distractions of the day to melt away. Seeing if you can feel the points of connection to the earth below you. Or possibly feeling the earth coming up to meet you. And as you settle into your child's pose, taking a moment to notice if you perhaps need any props to help you in this posture. We will be here for a few minutes to start our practice. So trying to make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can be really beneficial. So generally we start with our toes together, knees out. And because we're going to be working into the major areas of the body that carry stress, our hips and shoulders, I'd suggest beginning with your arms stretched out. Maybe reaching through your fingertips. Seeing if you can sink your pelvis a little bit lower to the floor. You need to maybe use a blanket or a bolster in between your sit bones and your heels. Where would you like to rest your chin? Maybe it's on the mat, or maybe you'd like to turn your cheek to the side, of the other. Wherever you are, seeing if you can begin to notice your breath. The quality of your breath this morning, how it's residing in your body. Trying to notice without judgment, just observing our state of being. And as we observe and are ready, maybe we can begin to lengthen the inhale through the nose. And maybe we exhale back through the nose. Staying here for a few moments, breathing in and out through the nostrils. Noticing the cool air enter the body and the warmer air exhale. Possibly noticing that slight pause at the top and bottom of our breath. And then as you're ready, as you inhale through the nose, maybe pausing slightly at the top, and as we exhale, allowing that release to expand a little bit longer than we inhale. This breath pattern helps get into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest phase. Would you like to constrict the back of your throat slightly, beginning to cultivate our ujjayi breathing here? Noticing perhaps our breath starts to sound with the waves of an ocean. Inhaling and exhaling the longer release. And then from here, I'm going to offer a pranayama breath exercise called 3-part breath. So as we breathe in, I encourage you to take that breath all the way to your low back, into your pelvic floor. Expanding in a 360-degree rotation, front and back, side to side, filling it up like a nice balloon. And then exhaling to release back through the nose. Do this a few more times, inhaling to expand through the pelvic floor and seeing if on the exhale, you can release your hips a little bit more, even if you're just thinking it. There doesn't have to be any actual movement, just feeling your pelvis grow heavy. And then as you continue to breathe in, perhaps allowing that inhale to expand into your midsection, around where your stomach is. Filling up that lower pelvis, nice and full, and then allowing the last little bit of air to expand and spill over into your midsection. And then exhaling to breathe it all out, letting it go and release. Try this for a few breath inhales. And if your hands are getting tired holding them out front, maybe you would like to bring them back towards your ankles. And then on your next inhale, inviting that breath into your low pelvis, your midsection, filling up your lungs and your diaphragm. And then allowing it to spill over into your chest, your upper chest. And exhaling from your upper chest to your midsection. And then finally letting it go from the pelvis. Feeling that pelvis grow heavy and melting into the ground. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in for the 3 different parts. Lower, mid, and upper. Exhaling upper, mid, lower. Beautiful. 1 more breath here. And then if you did take that option to have your hands just by your ankles, maybe walking them back out in front of you, coming up onto your fingertips and seeing if you can send your next breath into your shoulders. Can you notice the difference between having your palms down on the mat and then inhaling up onto your fingertips? How does that change the sensations in your body? And then when you're ready, we're going to walk our hands over to the right side, seeing if we can invite a nice long body stretch through the left. Breathing into any sensations that may be arising along the left side of the body. And when you're ready, inhaling to come back through center and over to the left. Once again, taking this opportunity to breathe into the right side body. Filling up your ribs, creating space, and exhaling anything you no longer need. Tension, stress, worries, let it go. When you're ready, inhale, Coming back to center. And gently walking yourself, your hands back into a kneeling position. Now for those of us who have tender knees, it might be beneficial to take a rolled up blanket and just place them under the knees there for you. From here, I invite you to inhale your hands up above your head, allowing the palms to connect at the top, maybe turning your gaze to look towards your fingertips. And then as you exhale, bringing your hands down in front of your heart center, contracting the core and bringing the belly button in towards the spine. Release and exhale. Inhale, bringing the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. One more time, inhale. Exhale, bring it home. Beautiful. Now, if there's an intention you would like to set for your practice, a goal maybe for your day or the week to come, maybe taking a minute to place your hand on your heart center and breathing that affirmation into your heart space. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, releasing your hands, we're going to come to sit on our sit bones. And we're going to take our legs out into a pose they call a yin, which is deer pose. So our left leg is going to come out in front of us. The knee is going to be bent and the left toes are going to be pointing towards the right knee. The right hip is going to be on a bit of an angle, still bent through that knee, with the right toes pointing behind us. Beautiful. So you may find that your right hip is slightly raised off of the mat, and that's kind of where we want to be. So taking our right hand, placing it on our iliac crest, which is our hip bone. Left hand can come to the floor, and we're going to very gently begin to rock forward. So we're kind of moving into the right side of our hips. Inhaling to come forward and exhale, scooping the hip under. Inhale to roll forward. Exhale to come back. And just kind of playing with any kind of motion you have here. Gently warming up the right side of the hip. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. There you go. Keep it going. Maybe you even like to close down your eyes and see if you can really focus on the sensations that you're creating as you're mindfully flowing through these movements. Beautiful. When you're ready, coming back to neutral, we're going to turn our body over that left leg and walk ourselves out. Gently coming down, folding over that front leg. Maybe you would like to have your fists on top of one another with your forehead resting on top of your hands. Maybe you'd like to have your hands over top of one another. Just coming to rest over that left side hip. Taking one more breath here. And you're walking yourself back up to neutral. We're going to take both feet onto the mat here, coming over onto our sit bones, and just gently rock our hips and our legs side to side. It's almost like windshield wipers in your car. And then the next time you're over on the opposite side, so we'll be the right leg forward, we're going to switch. So the left leg comes out kind of almost parallel to our hip, right leg forward. We're going to take the left hand onto that hip bone the right hand onto the floor. Gently begin to rock the left hip forward. And can you find your breath here, your ujjayi breathing that we started with, as you inhale to come forward and exhale to come back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Finding some rolling motions. There's no right here, there's no wrong, just moving in a way that feels right for you in your body. And then when you feel you've had enough movement on this side, coming back to neutral, taking your hands on either side of your knee, adjusting your body so that as you walk yourself forward, you're draping your body over that right knee. Breathing into wherever you're feeling sensations on this side. Taking one more breath here. And when you're ready, walking yourself back up to that neutral position. We're going to take our legs out long in front of us into our staff pose. So heels rooting into the ground, toes up. Inhaling our hands up above our head, really extending through the spinal column here. And as we exhale, folding forward, keeping a long spine. Where do you feel these sensations? Can you breathe into it? And as you inhale, can you extend your spine longer and exhale to gently fold forward? Following this pattern with your breath of inhaling to extend, exhale to fold forward. One more breath here. And then let your next inhale walk you back up. We're going to put our feet, soles of the feet onto the mat. Scoot our sit bones close to our heels, lowering ourselves down. We're going to begin to prep for bridge to warm up our spine and our glutes. So before we come up into our bridge, taking our feet to about hip width apart, or whatever feels strong for you, trying to create a nice strong base here. Now, if you take your hands to your hip bones once again, you'll notice that many of us will have a very natural curve in our lower lumbar region, our low back. So the next time you inhale, I encourage you to flatten that curve by tucking the pelvis under. So your pubic bone and your sternum are going to come in close towards one another. As you exhale, you're going to release. The pelvis comes forward. The hip bones come forward. Sorry. Inhaling to tuck the pelvis, exhaling to release. So often these slower movements, slower mindful movements that we take throughout our practice can sometimes actually be the most beneficial, especially when we're warming up and cooling down. So as we gently rock our pelvis forward and back here, when you feel ready, on the next exhale, slowly releasing your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Maybe your hands come down beside you, palms facing towards the earth. And as you exhale, release back down to the earth. Following this movement, with inhaling and exhaling, as you slowly come up and back out of your bridge again. Do this a few more times. And the next time you find your hips up in bridge once again, We're going to stay here for a few minutes. So beginning to activate our glutes and our legs, almost imagining that there's two blocks in between our knees. So we want to try to make sure our knees are displaying out to the side. We want to tuck them nice and close in so that they're parallel with our hips. Staying here, or maybe you would like to inhale up onto your tippy toes. Exhaling, releasing your heels back to the mat, keeping the hips high. Inhaling again onto the tippy toes. Exhale, release to the heels. Following this movement for a few breaths, inhaling up, exhaling down. And then the next time you find yourself up on your tippy toes, maybe you would like to hold them here. Perhaps you would like to interlace your hands behind your back, tucking your shoulders underneath, possibly getting a little bit more height here through your bridge. Can you begin to activate your core muscles to protect your lower back? Holding it nice and strong here for one more breath. Exhaling by untucking the shoulders if you have them underneath. Releasing the heels, and then gently releasing one vertebrae at a time, your spine back down to the mat. From here, it might feel good to take your knees in towards your chest. Giving yourself a nice gentle hug, rolling through the ankles, going in one direction, and then the next. And then maybe you'd like to begin by taking a few hip circles. Hands on the top of the knees, moving in one direction. And then the other. And when you feel you've taken enough movement here, we're going to come into our tabletop. So there's two different ways we can do this. We can either rock up and down the length of our spine, building momentum until we come to the front of our mat. Or maybe you would like to take your knees over to one side and allow yourself to come up that way. So whichever option works best for you. As we all meet in our tabletop, I encourage you to spread nice and wide through your fingers, tucking your toes under, and bringing your hips up and back into our first downward dog of the day. So as we come up into this form, really pressing through your fingers, the tips of your fingers, pushing the floor away. Seeing if we can get those sit bones nice and high into the air. Maybe you would like to bend one knee and the other. Maybe swishing your hips from side to side, taking whatever movement you need to here. To finally inhale, coming up onto your tiptoes, exhale, release the heels towards the mat. They don't have to meet, maybe keeping a bend in your knees. Staying here for one cleansing breath. So breathing in through the nose and releasing out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, maybe you would like to walk your hands back towards your feet. Coming into our forward fold. Allowing our head, neck, and upper body to really hang here. Maybe keeping a bend in your legs. Maybe grasping opposite elbows. Rocking from side to side, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no. Just getting rid of any tension that you might be holding in the upper body. When you're ready, taking your hands to your shins, inhaling halfway lift, allowing your shoulders to pull down your back, creating a nice long line from the tip of your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head. When you're ready, exhale, release to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. One last time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bending through the knees and inhaling, still allowing your upper body to hang, moving slowly, and allowing the head and shoulders to come up last. So we're going to come to standing in our Tadasana. So maybe inhaling to roll the shoulders up towards the ears, exhaling down the back. A few more times like that. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale back. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale back. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhaling, hands up above the head. Maybe interlacing the last three fingers, keeping your thumb and pointy finger extended. Inhaling to again reach up, extending through the spine. Exhale over the right. Inhale back up. Exhale left. One more time, each side. Inhale right. Exhale left. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Step back with the right foot, followed by the left into our high plank. Maybe lowering down onto your knees as we inhale to come forward, keeping the elbows tucked nice and close into the body. Exhale, release to the mat. Inhale into our small cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale once again into your small cobra. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release. Tucking the toes under and coming back into our downward facing dog. Maybe taking a moment to pedal out or find some stillness and a cleansing breath here in our down dog. Either stepping your feet forward or walking your hands back, coming into our forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, bend the knees. Raising the hands up over our head. This time we're going to take our right hand over the left wrist. Inhaling to extend, exhale, lifting up and over. Maybe our gaze turns under that left arm. Inhale to come up. Exhale, other side, left wrist, left hand, right wrist. Inhale back up. Exhale, other side. Inhale back up. Last time. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Planting our hands, stepping back with our left foot, followed by the right, high plank. Either lowering from your high plank or coming to your knees. Exhale through your chaturanga. Keeping our hands underneath our shoulders, inhaling into either our small cobra or maybe our high, depending on where your back is. Exhale, release. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, release, tucking the toes under, bringing it up and back into our downward facing dog. Beginning to build a little bit of heat in our practice. Maybe taking another cleansing breath. If you need a glass of water, now is also a good time to do so. And knowing that during our practice, if you ever need to return to child's pose, to take a few breaths and reset, that is also an option for you. So maybe from here, we bend our knees, coming onto our tiptoes, and either stepping or hopping to the front of our mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bending the knees, coming to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, we're going to take the right arm down the side of the body, inhaling the left up and exhale over. It's like a modified half moon. Inhaling to come up. Exhale to bend. Same side, one more time. Inhale back to center. We're going to release the left hand down the length of our body. Inhale the right up. Reaching through the right fingertips, exhaling the left down. Can we externally rotate that right shoulder open as we bend to the side? Lateral flexion. Inhale to come up. Exhale, bend one more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale our hands up above our head. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, planting your hands back down on the mat, either stepping back with the right foot, then the left, or hopping back, high plank. Inhaling to come forward, exhale to lower through our chaturanga. Inhale into our Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale, release, back down to the mat. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Exhale, tuck the toes under, coming back into our downward facing dog. Taking one breath here to reset. And then stepping or hopping to the front of our mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale to stand. This time we're going to exhale, bringing your hands behind our back, interlacing the fingers, seeing if we can retract the shoulder blades together, creating a nice opening through the front of the chest. Maybe opening our stance a little bit wider to mat width apart. And exhale to fold forward. Maybe your hands come off your lower back. Maybe they don't. Either way is just as good. Breathing here for one more breath. And then activating the core, pulling through the back of the hands. Come back to standing. Releasing the hands. Inhaling. Palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Hands placed on the mat. Heel to your feet back into hip width. Planting your hands down, stepping back with your left foot followed by your right, high plank. Inhale to move forward, exhale through our chaturanga. Inhale into a back bend of your choice. Exhale, release to the mat. From here, I invite you to take your hands along the length of your body with your palms facing towards your body. We're going to inhale and bring the head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat into a half locust. Exhale, release back to it. Two more times. Inhale. Reaching those fingertips back. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release. Planting the hands. Tucking the toes under, coming back into our downward facing dog. Taking one cleansing breath here. When you're ready, grounding that left foot into the mat. And inhaling the right up behind you, three-legged down dog. Now, can you take a moment to check your hips? Are they both level to the mat? Pointing the toes under will help. Powering through the back of your heel. Pushing through the hands on your mat. Exhale, we're going to bend that right knee. Inhale to come forward, allowing the foot to come in between our hands. We're going to take that back left knee down to the mat into our low lunge. Inhaling to come up. Hands rise. And can we find a nice, strong, sturdy foundation here in our low lunge? So energetically pulling the legs towards one another, making sure that our right knee isn't going past that right ankle. And playing with our hands here. So if you take your pinkies and you rotate them in towards each other, this is internal rotation. External rotation turns them out. So maybe just playing with that for a moment. Working into our sit muscles, which are the muscles in our shoulders. When you're ready, coming back to neutral, we're going to exhale into cactus arms. Inhale to straighten that front leg. Hands come straight. Exhale, bend the knee, cactus arms. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Releasing the hands to frame that front foot. We're going to tuck the left toes under, coming up into our high lunge. Inhaling our hands up. And from here, we're going to release the right arm under the left, coming into eagle arms. Now, if you aren't able to create the bind today in eagle arms, you can also take opposite hands to shoulders, like this. Maybe we inhale to see if we can invite a small back bend into our practice, bringing those elbows up and away from our body. Exhale to release, unwind. We're going to bring the left hand on the inside of the right foot. Inhale the right hand up. Beautiful. Exhale, release that right hand. Step back into a high plank. Either take a vinyasa of your choice or exhale back and up into your downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. Whatever you would like to do, we'll meet together in our down dog. Beautiful. When you're ready, rounding through the right foot, inhaling the left up and back. Bending through the knee on an exhale, sending that left foot forward in between your hands. Maybe your left hand helps to carry that foot forward. Dropping the right knee down onto the mat. And coming into our low lunge on the other side. Inhaling our hands up. Exhale, cactus arm. Inhale, straighten that left leg as our hands come outstretched. Exhale, sink it back. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One last time. Inhaling. Exhale. Release the hands to either side of that front foot, tucking the back toes under, rising up into our low lunge on the other side. Once again, inhaling our hands up above our head. This time we're going to take the left hand under the right. Eagle arms on the opposite side. Inhaling, seeing if we can bring those those elbows, up and away from the body. Holding it here for one breath. And then exhale to release. Bringing your hands to frame that front foot. We're going to take the right knee back down to the mat. Set the left foot back to meet it, sinking into our child's pose for 2 to 3 restorative breaths. And when you're ready and you feel like you've taken enough breaths here to reset, as we begin to kind of think about winding down our practice, I invite you once again to walk your hands back towards your knees, coming into the kneeling position. We're going to work into a bit of a different variation of our camel. Camel's never really been one of my favorite postures, but I find that this variation, at least for myself, is a lot more accessible. So when you're ready to come up onto your knees, again, using a blanket or pillow if you need some extra support there, we're going to take our hands to our hips and maybe tuck our toes under. So you don't have to have the toes tucked under. You can also, if you have blocks, have 2 blocks by each heel to help bring the floor up a little bit higher to you. When you're ready, we're going to inhale the left hand up towards the sky and exhale the right down towards our right heel. So seeing if we can really reach up through those left fingertips in this camel variation. So staying here, or maybe you would like to gently and slowly invite some small arm circles into your practice. Moving in one direction, and then the other. And then the next time that your left arm reaches down or back behind you, maybe you'd like to settle it onto the left heel. Pausing for a moment here in our camel, hips coming forward, glutes activated, and then inhaling the right hand up towards the sky, reaching through those fingertips. Staying here, or maybe inviting some circles through the arms from the other side. Going in one direction, and when you're ready, switching to the next. When you're ready, releasing that right hand back to your ankle. And then to come out of this posture, we're going to take our left hand to the low back, followed by the right, engaging that core, bringing ourselves back up to neutral. When you're ready, taking your hands to the mat, releasing your feet to one side, we're going to begin to lower ourselves down on our mat. Maybe from here you would like to inhale your legs up long, pointing the toes, and then flexing them towards the nose. Remembering to breathe, move with your breath. And then when you're ready, releasing your left foot to the mat, close to your sit bones. We're going to take the right ankle over that left knee, coming into a supine figure 4. So taking your right hand and maybe just placing it on your right knee and gently guiding it open, knowing that you can stay here. Or if you would like, you can interlace your hands behind that left leg, using your right elbow to guide the right knee open. Keeping your feet flexed here and seeing if on every inhale, you can gently guide yourself, the left leg in closer to the body. Exhale to release. inhale to pull it in. See if you can kind of find that edge. The edge where there's no pain, but where you can feel, hopefully, a nice juicy sensation and stretch. Remembering to take nice, long, deep breaths here, slowing down our practice. Next, exhale, releasing your hands if you have them interlaced behind that leg. Placing the left foot back onto the floor. And then inhaling to reset. Exhale, we're going to take it over so that the right foot comes over to the left side in a small twist. Maybe you would like to extend your arms out to shoulder height and turn your gaze, if your neck's okay, to face the right fingertips. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, inhaling back to neutral. We're going to take that right leg into the chest by interlacing the hands above the shin, just below the knee. Hugging it in nice and close. Maybe your left leg stays where it is. Maybe you extend it long. I prefer extending it long, but whatever feels best in your body. And really seeing if on every inhale you can pull that knee closer in towards your armpit. When you're ready, exhale, releasing that right leg. Just coming for a moment to a place of stillness to observe the difference from one side to the next. Pausing for a few breaths, really be able to observe the sensations in your body. When you're ready, taking the right leg and foot and placing it on the mat close to your sit bones. We're going to inhale the left ankle over the right knee. And again, we can take the left hand and gently push the left knee so that it's opening to the side. Or maybe you would like to interlace your hands behind that right knee, guiding the left knee open with the elbow. Two more breaths here. And when you're ready, you have your hands interlaced behind that leg, letting it go, bringing the right foot back to the mat, and exhaling the left foot over to the right side. Opening up into your rotation. And again, if it's okay in your neck, maybe turning your gaze to look at the left fingertips. One more breath here. And on the next inhale, you bring yourself back to neutral, hugging that left knee in towards your chest. Maybe straightening or lengthening that right leg. Just gently guiding the left knee in towards the shoulder. And exhale when you're ready, releasing that left leg down beside the right and opening up into your version of Shavasana. And as you open up into this final resting posture, once again, really noticing what's going on in your hips and your shoulders. Seeing, noticing, listening to what your body is trying to communicate to you. Perhaps allowing your breath to return to a normal state of being, whatever that is for you. Possibly resting your eyes, taking a blanket over top of you, perhaps a cushion or a bolster under your knees to support the lower back. Really seeing if over these next few moments you can challenge yourself to stay mindful and present. Maybe scanning your body from head to toe. Really allowing your practice to sink in. Allowing the earth to come up and meet you and hold you. On your next inhalation, gently inviting awareness back into the body if you've drifted off. Breathing into the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes, and allowing that breath to maybe expand into gentle movements through the wrists and the ankles. Maybe you would like to rock your head gently from side to side, inviting any small movements that you need to awaken yourself back to this beautiful day we have been given. When you're ready, it might feel good to hug your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a really nice squeeze, a hug of gratitude for making it to your mat this morning. for yourself, for our community, practicing together, sharing together, and restoring peace to our bodies. When you're ready, come over onto your left side, where I invite you to take 2 cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then bringing yourself to a comfortable seated position at the top of your mat. Maybe from here you would like to gently rub your hands together, creating friction, building heat. And then simply just letting them expand out in front of you, connecting to one another, knowing that even though we're not sharing the same space, we are still here together in community. And then taking it to your heart center, possibly revisiting that intention you set for yourself. Taking one last breath of gratitude, breathing it into your hands, into your heart center. Exhale to let go. Thank you so much for joining myself and everyone else in this beautiful practice today. If you have any questions or comments, my name is Jenna, and it has been so much fun practicing together. Go in peace.